Hey guys, I'm JD Seraphine, founder and CEO of Raiinmaker. First, I want to take a sec to thank Tracy and the whole blockchain Futurist team. You guys really put on the best conference in the world, so I want to be grateful for being included and being a part of this. So, over the course of human history, today we're going to talk about the Coiin Network protocol, which is a technology that our company, Raiinmaker, has developed over the last 18 months. And over the course of human history, humans have sought to understand how to quantify the value we represent in the digital world, the value that our contribution to society represents in the digital world. So at Raiinmaker, we started first by focusing on how could we quantify the value that our interactions, our peer-to-peer relationships, our behavior represents in social media. So we built a Web3 social creator platform and an algorithm called Proof of Influence, where the social engagement of users is quantified and rewards are distributed based on the value they're creating on social media. A lot of people ask, well, why Raiinmaker with two eyes? Why Coiin with two eyes? Well, the two eyes represent the economic value of that peer-to-peer connection, the economic value of those social bonds that we create in society. So our brand, when we started this journey about 6 years ago, we reflected on what's the most important thing that we feel is missing that we could contribute in the world right now. And what we realized is that there isn't a fundamental system that accurately reflects the value that each human represents on the planet and the value of those peer-to-peer relationships. So we started building technology focused on how could we do that. And the latest product that we are rolling out this week, we're launching testnet of the Coiin Network protocol. So the Coiin Network protocol takes decentralized digital identity, behavior, smart contracts, and AI in a whole new system to better quantify value and distribute the value we're creating with all of our interactions in the digital world. It has NFT minting, token creation, interoperability with multiple public blockchains, and it's a federated protocol. So the finalization of consensus is actually happening on top of the Bitcoin network, it's happening on top of Ethereum, it's happening on Binance Smart Chain. So part of what we looked at over the last, I would say, year and a half, and really for a couple of years as an industry, one of the main problems we're facing is how do we drive mass adoption in crypto? And if you look at the products that we've built as an industry, they've all had a tremendous amount of friction in the fundamental fabric of how they're created. And a lot of that had to do with decentralization and us wanting to have things more decentralized. Which is not a wrong impulse, but the downside has been that the majority of the planet is still not participating in this Web3 global economy. So what we focused on at Raiinmaker for the last 6 years is every product that we've built is engineered from the ground up so that the user has a Web2 experience that is seamless and easy to use, while under the hood, everything that is Web3 is running decentralized identity, smart contracts. All of that Web3 value is running while the user is just using a normal app. One of the, actually I think the most novel things that we've built and done is that each user has a cryptographic key pair that's on their own device that's actually signing and hashing proof of every single action that they're taking on the mobile app or on the desktop app that's using the Coiin Network protocol. And those actions that are immutably signed by the user are actually forming the fundamental base layer of our network protocol. Those blocks are then passed through smart contracts, customized behavior-based smart contracts powered by AI that are used to distribute value frictionlessly, fractional value, to users based on the actual value that's tied to their pseudo-anonymous identity and their behavior. So as we were creating the protocol, like any protocol, we were faced with the same challenge that every builder is faced with. How do we strike a balance between security, decentralization, and scalability? We did that through a technique that actually my CTO had already proven prior to our project, which is by using a hybrid blockchain architecture and leveraging the security and the hash power of public networks without sacrificing decentralization. And with our focus on decentralization, what we've done, as I mentioned earlier, is focus on not being dogmatic about how we decentralize what we build, but rather focus on how can we distribute as much value in a democratic and distributed manner to the users that need it most. So everything that we've built is focused on, again, not being dogmatic about decentralization, but how can we decentralize actual value creation and distribution. So some of the features that are native to the protocol, like I mentioned before, decentralized digital identity, AI-powered behavior smart contracts, NFT minting, token creation. Really, though, our focus has been how can we take immutable proof of someone's identity, their behavior, and use that to drive the distribution of the actual value that they're creating in the products and services and communities that they're participating in online every day. On the validator side of our system, the same thing we basically programmed it with the same principles. How do we align incentive to drive human behavior? Well, every 29 days, our token contract looks at the amount of value that's created across the entire network. It determines how many coin are going to be minted into circulation, and then looks at what each validator has done according to their identity, their behavior, and those economic variables, and then determines how many tokens it will distribute to each validator based on what is their identity, how much coin do they have staked on the network, and how many blocks have they actually signed during the 29-day mining period. So everything we do, again, is taking identity, behavior, and how do we align the incentives harmonically, correctly, to drive and reward human behavior. So the first product that's running on the Coin protocol is the Raiinmaker Web3 social creator platform. We've already got, it actually really is the first execution of our thesis, which is, again, by taking that immutable proof of value, in this case in the world of social media, attaching an incentive to the behavior that's driving that value, and then fractionally automating the distribution of that value using Web3, that was our thesis with Raiinmaker. So we've got 60,000 plus users on the platform so far, distributed over $500,000 in crypto rewards. But I think one of the most unique innovations that we've accomplished in recent times is every single user on the Raiinmaker app is able to become an independent validator node in the Coiin Network. So that means that basically by just pushing a button and signing a terms of use, they're actually able to become an independent node in the network. So the code that typically you would have to deploy and run on a server and spend a significant amount of capital or have a lot of technical knowledge, you don't need any blockchain IQ to be able to be a validator on the network. So what this means is you could have millions or hundreds of millions of users across the planet on just a mobile device that could be acting as independent nodes that are securing the network. And when they're actually doing that, all they're doing is using a Web 2 style interface where they're sharing to social media. They're creating AI generative art. They're doing stuff that ordinary non-tech savvy, non-crypto native users can do, but underneath the hood, their cryptographic key pairs are actually validating and verifying every single block that's flowing through the network. And I know that Vitalik and many other people have postulated that this is something that they were hoping to see accomplished by 2029, but we've already accomplished it in the year 2023. So I want to leave you guys with a parting thought. I think as a species, as a human race, we're at a crossroads. There are many different paths forward and many different economic futures that potentially await us. And my hope is that collectively as an industry, we're able to build the systems that decentralize and distribute and empower the human race with the economic value that we can. And my hope is that Raiinmaker and Coiin could serve some sort of role in helping to facilitate what I see as a golden age for humanity. So right now you can register as a validator, scan that QR code, download the Raiinmaker app, or you can do it via the Coin console. Thank you again, guys, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, JD Seraphine of Raiinmaker.